Hey guys, Jen here. I don't know if anybody is gonna hop on live, but I'm gonna wait just a second and see. Just tagging people in here. But we're gonna talk about meal planning because it's a really great thing to do on the weekends. Sorry, I'm gonna look at you in just a second. There we go. Okay, it's a great thing to do on the weekend because you get all prepped for the week, and today's Friday. I don't know if you know it, but it's the weekend, and I'm in between carpool runs. I've got to go pick up my son in about 20 minutes. I probably have kids who are gonna pop in here. But I want to talk to you about meal planning. So I am going to post in here a template that I use every week when I'm planning my meals. And I want you to feel free to use it. Try it out. See how it goes for you. Ask questions about it. But basically what it is, I meant to print one out so I could show you. Well, maybe I can show you here on my computer. What it basically is, I'm going to show you here. Looks like this. You can print out a blank one. This is my partially filled in one for this week. You can print out a blank one, or you can do it on your computer and just type it in. That's what I like to do. But you'll see it has the date right up here. It has a place for you to put your water goal, what you're going to prep on Sundays to get ready for the week, and then there's a place here for if there's anything throughout the week that you need to prep, you can put that there. You can see there's breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, and then at the bottom there's a place for you to plan your workouts for the week, and some you time, some self-care. So that kind of gives you an idea of what the template looks like. Obviously it's blank. I'll give it to you blank so that you can fill it in. But like I said, you can print it out and just write things in, or you can do it on your computer. So I want to just tell you how I go about meal planning. And first off, I want to just say that before I ever did meal planning, I thought it was the most overwhelming thing ever. And I thought, I'm never going to be one of those people who does meal planning or meal prepping because I don't have the time. And it was just overwhelming. I didn't know enough about it to realize how much time it actually would save me. And when you get in a good rhythm with it and you have sort of a system for doing it, it really doesn't take a terribly long time. And like I said, it saves you a lot of time. And when I have this plan up on my fridge for the week, I don't have to think about what I'm going to eat. I don't have to think about what my family's going to eat for dinner. There's not those moments of oh, maybe I'll just grab this easy, not so healthy thing, because I have a plan. And if it's something that needs to be made ahead, I have prepped it ahead. So it might right now to you sound super overwhelming, and I want you to just take a deep breath, and we're going to just take it step by step. And so I'm going to tell you all the steps that I use to make my plan, and Becky does very similar. And there are some other people in this group that meal plan already as well. So feel free to chime in with any of your tips if you already do this. But if it feels overwhelming, please promise me that you are not going to just throw up your hands and say, it's too much, I'm not doing it. Promise me that instead you will say, okay, this week I'm just going to do step 1. Great. And then next week you'll do 1 and 2 maybe. And we can slowly add on until you're planning out every meal for every day. And then we can prep those meals. So here's what I do. When I showed you that template, it had a spot for every meal of the week. So what I do is I always start with dinner, because to me, dinner feels like the meal that's the most important, because other people are counting on me for that meal. And what I do, and everybody doesn't do things this way, and that's fine, I'm just going to tell you how I do it, is we have typically the same-ish meals every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday. So let me explain. So on Mondays, what do we have on Mondays, Caroline? What do we have for dinner on Mondays? Meatloaf. And mashed potatoes. And? Okay, you probably can't even hear her. But on Mondays, we have meatloaf. We have meatloaf. We usually have sweet potatoes. The kids like them mashed, so I do mashed sweet potatoes. And we have some kind of vegetable. Sometimes we'll have fruit with it, sometimes we won't. But the main part of Monday, it's Meatloaf Monday. Okay, so every Monday I have the same thing. Tuesday, we have tacos. Wednesday is, remember, what's Wednesday, Caroline? She should just come over here. Anyways, Wednesday is whatever mommy wants Wednesday. So usually that's like, I'm trying out a new recipe. I have sort of that day in the middle of the week that I can do whatever I want. Nobody knows what it's going to be. It might be something we've had before. It might be something new that I'm trying. Thursday is Thrifty Thursday, which usually ends up meaning that we have breakfast for dinner. My kids love breakfast for dinner. My husband is usually the one that makes it, so it gives me a break. So Meatloaf Monday, Taco Tuesday, whatever mom wants Wednesday, Thrifty Thursday, which is usually breakfast for dinner. And can I close this? Yeah, when I'm finished. Or you can ask Caroline to help you. I'll be done in just a couple minutes. And then Friday, we usually have pizza and movie night. So sometimes I will decide that I am going to have a treat meal and I'm going to have pizza. Sometimes I'll have something that was left over from earlier in the week. And then Saturday is usually eating out on Saturday night, and Sunday is usually like whatever's left over in the fridge. So I kind of have a rhythm to my dinners, which makes planning easier. So I always start with dinners. And what I will first do is I will look at my calendar and I will say, are there any nights that I know we are not going to be eating at home? And I will fill those in first. It's the first thing I'll do. Then I will fill in the rest of the nights when I know we'll be home with meatloaf, tacos, whatever, and I'll look for a new recipe to try on Wednesday. Decide if there's something other than breakfast we want to do Thursday. Maybe Scott's not going to be home Thursday night. I don't really like making pancakes, so I will do something else for Thrifty Thursday if Scott's not home. I'll look at what our schedule is for the weekend, think about maybe where we're going to go, maybe look at the menu ahead of time and decide what I'm going to eat ahead of time so I'm not tempted to get something bad for me. Okay, so I start with dinners. Then the next thing I do is I hop up to lunches. And what I will usually do is I will make enough dinner that the next day I have leftovers for lunch. So Monday is usually a mason jar salad because I don't have leftovers yet. It's the first day of the week. And on Sunday I ate all the extra leftovers from the week before. So that's something I will make ahead, and I will have a jar salad on Monday for lunch. Tuesday for lunch, I'm usually having my leftover meatloaf. Wednesday, I'm having my leftover tacos. Does that make sense? So my lunch, if I have had dinner here the night before, I'm eating leftovers the next day. If I don't have leftovers, maybe we went out for dinner, or for whatever reason there's no leftovers, I will plan those days to have a mason jar salad because I love mason jar salads. And if you have not made mason jar salads, yeah, that looks great. If you have not made mason jar salads, there are tons of different recipes you can make. Really anything you want in a salad, you can do it in a mason jar, and if you put it in a little glass mason jar, it keeps for longer for some reason. I'm sure there's science behind that I don't know what it is. Okay, so that's lunches. Okay, so like those are my two that I start with. Then what I'll usually do is I will pop in my Shakeology. So I know on Sunday morning I always have my Shakeology for breakfast. So I'll put that in because I make it as I'm running late for church, and I have it for breakfast that day. And then I usually have it on Tuesday mornings as well because I have Bible study early and I don't have time to make breakfast on Tuesday morning. So I will have my shake those 2 days. Then I will put it as my afternoon snack on every other day of the week. And so then those 2 days, the Tuesday and the Sunday, I'll think, what else would be a good snack? And I pop it in. Okay. Then I go up to breakfast. And I already have a couple of my breakfasts in there because I have those as my shake. And then I usually go back and forth between overnight oats and like a veggie scramble, an egg scramble with veggies in it. sometimes with toast, sometimes not. If you're following a certain meal plan, we can get into that later about how you're going to want to make sure that you're checking all the boxes of all the different containers, or making sure you have all your carbs by lunchtime if you're doing the 2B mindset. So that's a little bit more advanced on the meal planning. We just want to make sure that you can just know what it's going to be, make good, healthy choices. So you start with dinner, you have leftovers for lunch, fill in where your Shakeology is going to be, then breakfast, and then you may or may not be a morning snacker. I am for sure an afternoon snack, because otherwise, if I don't have something planned, I will eat something that's not good for me. So that's always in there. I will have a morning snack. Sometimes it just depends. Like when I go to Bible study on Tuesday mornings and I have my shake, I'm not home until about lunchtime, and so I don't have a morning snack. So you'll kind of get to know the rhythm of your days, and just how your body works. You might not get super hungry if you have a big breakfast. Thursday mornings, I always go out to breakfast with a friend, and so I don't usually have a morning snack on Thursdays. But what I will do is I'll usually plan something in there, just so that if I am hungry, I can look at my meal plan and know what I'm eating, and not have to think and potentially make a bad choice. So hopefully that makes sense. But at the end of the day, the goal is for you to have this thing here all filled in. So like mine is almost all the way filled in for the week. I have to put in my lunches, which is going to be pretty easy because it's just going to be leftovers. And then I have to fill in Saturday and Sunday a little bit. But I didn't know what our plans were for the weekend, and so I haven't filled those in. But what I will do is I will print this off. Well, before I print it off, I will look through all the things. And on Sunday, I will type up here all of the things that I can make ahead. So like, I can make my meatloaf ahead. I can cook up my taco meat ahead. I can cut up the veggies. I can make my cheeseburgers ahead. The rest of it doesn't really need to be made ahead. If I look at, my snacks are pretty much apple and peanut butter. I don't really need to do anything for that. My breakfast, I'm doing veggie scrambles, and I have a couple of breakfasts out. So that's not really anything I need to make ahead, other than I will, and you'll see that up here, I will cut my veggies up for the scramble ahead of time. So it literally will only take me a couple of minutes to make it. So once you have everything planned, you're going to want to figure out, what can I make ahead? What can I make on Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening, so that as I go through my week, I literally open the fridge and I pop dinner in the oven. Or I open the fridge and I pull out my jar that has my salad in it and I just eat it. Because what happens is, if you don't have it planned, you make bad choices. Or if you have it planned but it's not prepped, you go and you're like, oh, I'm supposed to have this salad, but I'm running late to this thing and I don't want to cut all the veggies. So instead, I'm going to eat something not great, or I'm going to run through the drive-thru. So planning and prepping both are key. That is pretty much what I do for meal planning. And there are tons of recipes if you want to try new things. I would honestly encourage you to think of things as you're starting out that are things that your whole family will eat, things that you like. Healthy versions, obviously, but yeah, that's really all I have to say about meal planning. The thing I just would say more than anything is, if you don't do it, your choices will not be as good. And I was a drag your feet. I'm not going to meal plan. I'm not going to meal prep. This is so not my thing. You want to say hi? No. Reed has hiccups. But once I started doing it, I realized I was making it into a bigger thing than it actually was. Just 1 minute. I'm wrapping up, okay? I was making it into a bigger thing than it actually was, and it has helped me. I mean, the benefits totally outweigh the cost. So if you have any questions at all, please just pop them in the comments, and I will post I'll post in the comments the template for the meal prep page. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. I am shipping one of my kids off for a sleepover and gaining 2 others for a sleepover, and it's going to be a fun weekend. So anyways, hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you soon. Oh, and one last thing, if you're still watching, every Saturday morning we have a Zoom workout. So I posted about that earlier today. You can just click on the link. You can do it from your phone or from your computer, but it's basically like a video call where everybody does whatever workout is on your schedule for that day, but we all pop on at 9 o'clock Eastern. And we say hi, chat for a couple seconds, and then we all do our own workout, but we can kind of see each other and we can feel like we're together. And so it's just a really fun thing to do. So some of you have been in groups before with us and have done that. But those of you who haven't, I just want to let you know that that is happening tomorrow morning. So I will see you at 9 a.m. Eastern, which is 10 a.m. for me. I might have a lot of small boys running around that slept over, but that's okay. So if you can make that, we would love to see your face. All right, have a great evening.